Level 1. The intern. You don't have a salary. You have an opportunity. You're 20 years old, junior year. Your university career portal showed one listing that mattered. Goldman Sachs. Summer Analyst Program. 10 weeks. New York City. You applied at midnight. You practiced your answers for 3 rounds of interviews. You wore a suit you bought specifically for this. You got the offer. Now you're here. 200 West Street. The building is 43 floors of glass and steel and money. You walk through the lobby on your first morning and your badge doesn't work. You stand at the turnstile for 90 seconds while people in better suits walk around you. Nobody helps, nobody looks. You are furniture that hasn't been assembled yet. There are 80 summer analysts. You are all the same. Ivy League degrees, 3.9 GPAs, leadership positions on 4 clubs, internships at companies that weren't Goldman. None of that matters here. Here, you start at 0. Your job is to build models in Excel and not make mistakes. That's it. That's the entire job. You work from 9 a.m. to whenever the associate tells you to leave. The associate never tells you to leave before midnight. You eat dinner at your desk. The firm pays for it if you're still there at 7 p.m. You are always still there at 7 p.m. You make $17,000 for the summer. It sounds like a lot. It works out to $11 an hour after tax. The McDonald's across the street pays $16, but you're not here for the money. You're here for the return offer. 10 weeks to prove you belong. Everything else is noise. At the end of week 10, they call you into a conference room. 2 minutes, a handshake, a return offer for full time. You say thank you with a straight face. You go to the bathroom and call your mother. She cries. You don't. You start in September. Level 2. The first year analyst. The offer was real. The job description was not. You're 22. Your base salary is $110,000. The number looked different in your head before rent, before taxes, before the $4,200 a month studio in Tribeca that was the cheapest option within walking distance of the office. You make good money. You cannot afford to live like it. The hours are the thing nobody fully explains. Not 60 hours a week, not 80. You track your hours for the first month. You stop tracking. The number is too depressing. Your title is analyst. Your actual job is to build pitch books. A pitch book is a 60-page PowerPoint presentation that tells a CEO why Goldman Sachs should be hired to advise his company on a transaction. You build them from templates. You update the fonts. You align the boxes. You check that every number matches the model. At 2 a.m., at 4 a.m., at 6 a.m., when the associate messages to say the client meeting is at 8 and the cover page has the wrong logo. You fix the logo. You go home. You shower. You come back. Your body stops understanding sleep as something that happens at night. It becomes something that happens in 90-minute windows. On the subway, in the cab, once, briefly, in the bathroom on the 23rd floor. You get your first bonus in January, $40,000. After tax, $24,000. You feel like a god for exactly 1 afternoon. Then the analyst next to you mentions his was $65,000. You spend the rest of the week wondering what you did wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. That's just how the floor works. Ranking is everything. You don't know your ranking. Nobody tells you you're ranking. You just have to keep performing and hope the number moves. 2 years. That's the contract. Survive 2 years, and you either get promoted or you exit to a hedge fund or private equity. Everyone calls it exiting to the buy side, like it's a choice they made. Some of them chose it. Most of them got managed out and rebranded the story. You are not getting managed out. Level 3. The senior analyst. You survived year 1. That means something. Not much, but something. You're 23. Your base goes to $125,000. The raise feels meaningless by the time it hits your account, because your lifestyle adjusted the moment you knew it was coming. You have a first-year analyst now. His name is probably Connor. He reminds you of yourself 18 months ago. Same suit, same nervous energy, same habit of triple-checking everything before sending. You were him. Now you are the associate sending messages at 2 a.m. about the logo, except you're not an associate yet. You're in the gap. Too senior to be protected, too junior to have real power. The associates push work down to you. You push it down to Connor. Connor fixes the logo. You check Connor's work. The associate checks your work. The VP checks the associate's work. The MD checks the VP's summary of the work. Nobody checks the MD. You start to understand the architecture. Goldman doesn't run on talent. It runs on hierarchy. The hierarchy runs on fear. Fear of being the person whose error made it into the client deck. Fear of being the analyst who left at 9 p.m. on a live deal night. Fear of being managed out before the 2-year mark. You are not afraid anymore. That's the problem. You've been here long enough that the fear converted into something colder, competence. You are very good at this job. You are good at a job that is slowly making you someone your college self wouldn't recognize. Promotion review is in 4 months. You already know you're getting it. The MD told the associate. The associate told you, between lines in a hallway conversation, that you were meant to overhear. That's how Goldman communicates good news. Directly is for bad news. Level 4, the associate. You have an MBA now. 2 years at Wharton, $220,000 in loans. Worth it, probably. You're 26. Base salary is $175,000. Your first-year bonus will be $75,000 if you perform. Total comp clears $250,000. You tell yourself the debt is manageable. The spreadsheet agrees. The spreadsheet doesn't account for the Sunday night feeling. You know the Sunday night feeling. It starts around 4 p.m., that specific dread that sits in your chest when you remember Monday exists. You had it as an analyst. You assumed it would go away when you got promoted. It didn't go away. It got a name. Everyone on the floor has it. Nobody talks about it. Your job changed. You're not building decks anymore. You're managing the analysts who build the decks. You check their models. You fix their mistakes before the VP sees them. You are the filter between the work and the people who matter. You are also the person who messages analysts at 2 a.m. about the logo. You hear yourself and recognize the sound. You keep messaging anyway. The deal doesn't care what time it is. The client doesn't care. The MD definitely doesn't care. You work on your first live deal, a $4.2 billion acquisition. Your name is not in the press release. Your work is in every number in the press release. You feel something close to pride. The MD gets the tombstone. You get the experience. That's the word they use, experience. It's the currency they pay you in when the money isn't enough. And sometimes, the money isn't enough. Level 5, the vice president. You made it to VP. Most analysts don't. Most associates don't either. You did. You're 30. Base is $250,000. Bonus brings you to $400,000 in a good year. You are earning more money than your parents made in their best decade combined. You take them to dinner at a restaurant with no prices on the menu. Your father orders carefully anyway. Old habits. Your job is execution. The MD brings in the client. You run the deal. You manage the associates. You manage the analysts. You are the engine. Nobody sees the engine. They see the car. You have a team of 6. 2 associates, 4 analysts. You know their names. You know their weaknesses. You know which one will fold under pressure and which one will stay until 5 a.m. without being asked. You deploy them accordingly. This is called management. It feels more like chess. You haven't originated a deal yourself yet. That's the next step. That's the wall between VP and MD. You can execute anything. You need to prove you can sell. Selling means relationships. Relationships take years. You don't have years. You have a performance review in 6 months and an MD track that requires you to bring in revenue, not just manage it. You start taking clients to dinner. You learn to talk about golf, even though you don't play golf. You buy clubs. You take lessons. This is also called management. Level 6, the managing director. You originate your first deal, a $2.1 billion merger. You brought in the client. You made the call. You sat across the table from a CEO and convinced him Goldman was the only choice. You're 38. Total comp this year is $1.2 million. The number stopped meaning anything around $600,000. Above that, it's just a score, a ranking, proof that you're winning a game you can't fully explain anymore. Your name is on the tombstone now. The analysts who built the model don't appear anywhere. You remember being that analyst. You send them a thank you email, 2 sentences. It takes you 4 minutes to write because you've forgotten how to say something without it sounding transactional. You have no time. That's the thing nobody prepares you for at this level. The money buys everything except the one thing you keep running out of. Your daughter's school play was on a Thursday. You watched the recording on a flight to London. She was the lead. She was very good. You told her that on Sunday. She said, "Thanks, Dad," and went back to her phone. You are the engine now, and the engine runs on sacrifice it no longer questions. Level 7, the partner. There are 400 partners at Goldman Sachs. Out of 45,000 employees, you are one of them. You're 44. Your compensation is whatever the firm decides. Last year, it was $4.8 million. The year before, $3.2 million. The number varies. The lifestyle doesn't anymore. It calcified somewhere around year 12 and stopped updating. You sit on committees. You approve deals you didn't build. You mentor MDs who remind you of yourself at 38, hungry, certain, slightly hollow behind the eyes in a way they haven't noticed yet. You have everything the 22-year-old with the broken badge wanted: the office, the title, the number, the car that doesn't need to be practical. You also have a divorce, a son in college who texts you on your birthday and major holidays, a doctor who uses the word stress the way other doctors use the word cancer, carefully, with follow-up questions. You are the most successful version of the person you set out to become. You're not sure that person and you are still the same. The cycle. Goldman doesn't need you to be happy. It needs you to perform, and it will find someone who performs whether you stay or not. Right now, somewhere in a university career portal, a junior is submitting an application at midnight. Good GPA, 4 clubs, 1 internship that wasn't Goldman. He'll get the offer. He'll walk through the lobby. His badge won't work on the first morning. Nobody will help him. Nobody will look. He'll fix it. He'll come back tomorrow. The machine doesn't stop. It just gets new parts.